Hey everyone, it's Types, and today we're taking a look at some new cards, and I'm super excited as always, though I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little less excited because these cards are unfortunately not super good, but I think there are some hidden gems in these cards. These cards are, some of them are from the 30th Celebration set, which is releasing on when's it releasing in like September? Yeah, September 16th worldwide. This is interesting because it is worldwide, so it's releasing the same time in Japan and internationally, which is different than most sets. Then we have the Mega Star decks. These are coming out at the same time as Storm Emeralda in Japan, and then the expansion. I don't. What is it called? Delta Rain or something like that. I'm gonna check here. I don't know if they. It's somewhere here on Poke Beach. I know. Uh, yeah, I believe it's called Delta Rain. I should know this off the top of my head. Yeah, it's Delta Rain coming out November 6th. So it's coming out a lot later internationally. The sets are actually coming out in reverse order from each, like, in Japan, we're getting Stormeralda / Delta Rain first, and these Mega Star deck cards first. And then internationally, we are getting 30th Celebration first. So it's really interesting there. And yeah, just something to keep in mind. Of course, Pitch Black coming out soon internationally as well. So that's going to be exciting. I'm definitely very excited for that. But anyways, we have these cards here. The Mega Star Dex cards. Normally, Star Deck cards aren't super good. These aren't super amazing, but they're okay. We got this Eevee here. Not too much to say here. Dark Carvana. We got, let's see, any other previous evolutions. No. But then we have this Jolteon. This Jolteon is actually pretty interesting in my opinion. And a card that I think could be not too bad. Tackle, though, is not good. 30 for 1 lightning. But Thunderbolt for 3 lightning, doing 220, discard all energy from this Pokemon. And it has Free Retreat. This card is not bad. This card, of course, evolves from Eevee. And instead, we have Eevee with Boosted Evolution. Boosted Evolution is an ability letting you evolve the turn you play a Pokemon if Eevee is in the active spot. Now, obviously, Jolteon needs a good amount of energy here. And that is a little clunky, but it is something you can pay for using the electric engine, I guess. I don't know. It accelerates energy to your board with the electric there, which is pretty good. It's a card that sees. I mean, it doesn't really see much play, to be honest. It sees a little bit of play. I personally have played with this card a little bit. Tell me in the comment section as well if you play this card and how good you found it. Ultimately, I don't think the partners are super good, though Mega Manectric EX is okay. And in current standard, the rest of them are the other options are pretty bad. But a Dynamo accelerates the basic lightning from you discard to one of your bench Pokemon every turn. This is because I've talked a lot about evolutions because Third Celebration has a ton of evolutions. It has, I don't know how many it has. I know it has some EXs and some non-EXs. I don't know if each one has an EX and non-EX, but and you even see in standard we have EX and we have EX of all of them. I don't know if we have non-EX of all of them. I don't remember. But Jolteon here is obviously lightning. A lot of the times you can only accelerate to a Pokemon of the same type of basic energy that it is, right? So you look at like Toxtricity in standard. You look at Barbaracle. Barbaracle is a pretty bad example because it's fighting and there isn't a fighting type evolution. But there's like Darkness with Umbreon there. I think there's an Umbreon that's okay-ish. I don't remember. There's also a Psychic one. I don't remember if the Psychic one is Sylveon or Espeon. I think it's Sylveon. And that card is a little interesting from 30th Celebration. But again, you can accelerate to it on the bench using Wondrous Patch. And then you can accelerate with Toxtricity and Wondrous Patch. That's going to be to the active. Wait, Toxtricity is only the active, right? Yeah, Toxtricity is but then you look at like Barbaracle, that one's going to be two. Sorry, Barbaracle can accelerate to the active, Toxtricity is only the bench. So Electric also is only to the bench, but can accelerate to any type of Pokemon. Long story short, you can use this to accelerate to the Eevee, the colorless one on the bench, and then you can, get into the active using whatever, which isn't too hard to do, and then you can evolve into Jolteon. And then you do lose all the energy. 220 though is pretty solid on a single prizer here. It's a little expensive. But you do it for retreat, and free retreat is pretty nice, allowing you to get out of there. You look at a Pokemon like Pikachu EX. I'm not saying that Jolteon is better than Pikachu EX. I mean, Pikachu EX isn't even that good in standard, but it's okay, I guess. It's not really played very much. But Pikachu EX here is a Pokemon that allows you to, it's a bit of a wall. It's a powerful attack option as well. But once you attack with it, you lose all the energy, and then sometimes you're kind of stuck. It's not usually too bad, but it can be bad. I feel like you can get kind of stalled out there, and having free retreat is super nice there. Obviously, you have like Latias EX, and you might even play that in this deck, but Jolteon is definitely an okay card here. I don't think it's really going to see play, to be honest, but maybe it could see play. And we have this Sharpedo. This one on a coin flip gets rid of energy from your opponent's active. Not too much to see here, I don't think. Literally, it's apparently smaller than the Jolteon image on Pokebeach here. This Darkrai that can accelerate to itself and like do some damage. Good in a pre-release setting, I gotta imagine, or like okay in a pre-release setting. It'll depend on what the promos are in your deck, but it's ultimately not a super good card. We have Morpeko searching for, some basics here. Not very good though. We got Zarude. This one can do some damage if you get lucky. Can some decent damage. Also, someone pointed this out, I think in the Pokebeach comments here, that they didn't realize that Zarude had these like grass tentacle things on its back, and yeah, I didn't notice that. Like the vines, they're pretty cool, and I didn't know about those. But anyways, that's cool, I guess, but doesn't really matter. And then there's this Delibird. This Delibird here is also in these stacks. It was revealed previously. I don't think I mentioned it on the channel. I don't remember though, but it has an ability here. Energy present once during your turn. If it's in the active, you can look at the top 6 cards of your deck, choose an energy, find it, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle the rest of the cards and put them on the bottom of your deck. This is essentially the same as a Manaphy. Nope. Celebi? Let me see. Yeah, the Celebi here. This Celebi didn't really see much play. I don't think. I played it a little bit, but importantly, this card can get special energies, which is useful. I think this card could legitimately see play within a deck like Team Rocket's Honchkrow, a deck that you're running just special energies or mostly special energies there, because special energies you can't really search very well. There are some ways to search them out. You're looking at Hilda and Colossus Tenacity, I believe, are the 2 ways. There might be some other one, but this Delibird is honestly, I mean, this card is okay. It's not bad. It's got free retreat with Air Balloon. It's not searchable by Poffin, but it does have 90 HP, so it's it's not getting knocked out by like random stuff all that often, I guess. You'd rather have 70, but it's certainly fine for allowing you to get special energies, and it can get basics as well. It's not, I mean, it's fine at that, but there are other ways to do that. And generally, you're just running more basics as well. You won't have energy issues as much. You can have energy issues with special energy. So Delibird is a pretty decent card. This is not the hidden gem. The hidden gem was, by the way, Jolteon, which I don't think anyone's really going to talk about, other than it's an evolution, which is cool, I guess. But Delibird here is an interesting card. It has an okay ability. Honestly, I think it is the best card from the decks, the Mega Star decks. Let's see. This one also has the rest of the cards. I don't remember if there are any other cards that were revealed that were particularly good. There are some that are okay and moderately interesting here, but nothing, super spectacular, I don't think. So this card could see play legitimately. If you look at special energies in standard, they are okay. I mean, the best one is going to be Ignition Energy, I think, and Ignition Energy is okay. Theoretically, it is really good, but the use cases of it are just mediocre. And a lot of these decks are going to be pairing it with, I mean, you look at it in specifically, where is it? With Mega Starmie, you're going to be pairing it with Hilda there. And it's going to be much easier to search there. Honestly, Hilda's like fine in the deck. It allows you to use Ignition Energy there, and also you're paying yourself and stuff, so that can be bad. But Delibird is definitely decent. Then we have the 30th Celebrations cards. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen like a super good list of them, at least not on my like normal websites I look at, which is mostly Pokebeach and Pokemon Proxies and Limitless. Pokemon Book does have something, but that's in Japanese. I prefer to see it in English here. And as I said, is releasing in English at the same time it's releasing in Japanese, so that's pretty cool. I guess it's doing some, as I said, weird stuff with the next expansion, but yeah, it is kind of cool to see. Unfortunately, all the cards we've seen before this video have been bad. I'm not gonna lie, these ones are not very good either. When I say bad, like they're pretty terrible. UEX is fine. It's really interesting, but it's not. I don't actually think it's good, unfortunately. I mean, I really like it. It's a really cool card, but I don't think it's good, and I don't think it's terrible. And the rest of the cards are like not very good. There's some that are moderately interesting, but anyways, these are revealed through various different products. Okay, sorry. One caveat to that is that the older cards are good, right? Like a lot of them are very powerful older cards, but they're not like standard legal, so that those don't count. To me, they're just reprints that aren't playable. And then we see that we got some different cards here. We got this Nidorina. There's like a regular art of this as well. I believe these cards are all in the set. They're mostly revealed as promos, though. But again, they should be in the set. And this has an ability here. Once in your turn, you can heal 30 from one of your Pokemon. This is honestly not too bad here. Nidorina, be able to heal. It's like I mean, it's kind of like Munkidori, but in Shuckle as well. It is healing if you want to play Lurantis EX. It is somewhat interesting there. I don't know if it's good, but it's interesting. And comparing this to Munkidori, yes, you don't do the damage, and it is an evolution, and you have higher HP, or sorry, lower HP, but in higher retreat, which is like bad. So there's a lot of downsides to this card. It's not Munkidori, but it doesn't require energy. So if you want to play a slower deck that doesn't have a lot of energy, this could be good. If you just need to heal a little, but it seems like not super good, but it's not terrible. Then we got this Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno with the same ability. Well, essentially the same ability. Something flapping. We got Flash Pop flapping, Frosty flapping, and Fiery flapping. The alliteration definitely feels stretched in the Zapdos here. A little, I don't know, it's kind of weird. But anyways, once your turn, if you have, all three in play here, then you can use this ability, attach, when I say all three of those names. So you could play like the good Moltres and stuff like that, but not like a Galarian or Moltres or anything like that. And then if you have, the others in play, you can attach a basic fire from your hand to this Pokemon, and then of course for Articuno it's a water, and for Zapdos it's a lightning. The attacks here, it's 130 for 3. On Moltres, you discard 2. You do 30 to each of your opponent's Pokemon. For 3 on Articuno, and then for 4 on Zapdos, you do 210, 6 to yourself. This seems like theoretically, I guess, kind of a fun concept, except for all the attacks are kind of bad. So Zapdos technically could be an attacker in a Lightning Box style deck. The rest of them, I mean, I'd say Moltres has like nothing really going for it here. It's just a little too expensive, a little too weak to even be super interesting to consider. It's just not very good. And like playing all these Pokemon, also they don't like actually have synergy. I mean, they have synergy because you need them all in play, but their attacks don't have synergy. Their energy types are all different, so it's super clunky. And then Hail here, 30 each of your opponent's Pokemon. This reminds me, I guess, of Uxie in Standard. Uxie is admittedly only doing 20, and it is doing in damage counts, which can be blocked. So can damage, so it depends what you're up against, but Articuno here is just like it's a lot of energy. It's not really worth running, I guess. Also with like Frostlass, it's kind of what you're looking to pair this with, and you're going to damage yourself, which could be bad as well. Then we got this Lucario doing 100, then 60 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon for 3. This is actually okay. I didn't like realize this card before. This card's not bad. I'm not gonna lie. You can use this with Mega Lucario EX. Mega Lucario EX. Let's see, Dex Online. Big Lucario is the 7th most played or 6th most played deck in Standard. I guess it's weird how the things are categorized, but it's decent, and it honestly is very linear. This is actually pretty nice for a deck trying to be a little less linear. Obviously, yeah, you have Hariyama to snipe, or to Gust, which is kind of similar to sniping, but this does damage to 2 Pokemon. You'd rather do 70 instead of 60 because so you could hit but a very powerful Pokemon there. 100 and then 6 to 1 your opponent's bench Pokemon is decent. You do hit Weetus in the active, not on the bench there. So it's interesting. It can hit some stuff, I guess. You don't have resistance either, so you could hit like Duskulls or something. The things you're hitting on the bench are kind of not going to be super amazing all the time, and getting the energy on is probably going to be done using Mega Lucario EX. And I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great. I think it is a potential inclusion within Mega Lucario, kind of like how Greninja EX is a potential inclusion within Mega Greninja EX. Like the new Greninja EX, not the fighting one, which is quite good. Then we have Alolan Exeggutor. This card's pretty cool. For 4, you do 150, heal 3 from it. Sorry, heal 50 from it. No idea where 3 came from. And then also, Scale Up is your ability. You have, by the way, 150 HP, but if you have 6 or more Grass Energy attached, you have 250 more. So you're at 400, obviously a lot there. And then you can do this with Meganium, right? And then you get 3 energies on. This isn't very easy to do, but it is still interesting nonetheless. Is it good? Nah, it's pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. But it is funny, and I like if you get the setup using like Energy Switch and another energy switch off of Ogerpon, I guess, which is quite a bit to ask, and also getting the Alolan Exeggutor, an attachment from hand, and also the Meganium with the Forest Vitality. It is like technically doable. It is pretty clunky, but it is still kind of funny. Definitely a silly card here. Not too terrible. There's something going for it. We got Greninja EX. This one I've talked about before, but it's 30, 20 points. Pokemon for each damage count on that Pokemon. I mentioned it just a moment ago. Decent snipe damage paired with Mega Greninja EX. It's okay. It's not great, but it's not terrible. And then Sylveon EX does 50 for each type of basic energy attached to all your Pokemon. Really, I guess, a cool concept, but it's a little too expensive. If this was fighting, or I mean, Psychic Colorless, I guess my brain's just tired as well. So if I'm saying weird stuff, that's why. But if it was Psychic Colorless, it would still probably be pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. We've seen like a Sylveon VMAX previously, which was damage based on Pokemon of different types, which is cool. We've seen cards like this in the past, and they're pretty interesting, I guess. Sometimes they're good, most of the time they're. I mean, I don't know how many we've seen, but they're fine, and they're more doable and more interesting. This is not that. It's not very interesting. It's not very good. It's just kind of bad. And then we got this Eevee, which searches, or sorry, it puts an item from your opponent's hand on the bottom. That's pretty terrible, unfortunately. And then we have, I think, two more cards here. We got this Mewtwo. Oh, we have Victini and Zeraora. This like searches for a bunch of Pokemon, has a generic attack. Then Zeraora, you can do 20 and draw one, or 50 and then 20 snipe. I don't even know if this is a new reveal. I don't know about these. They are not very good though. And then we have a Mewtwo and a Mew. Oh, we got Pikachu EX and Umbreon EX. Umbreon EX does 100, but can do 240 if your opponent has damage counters on them. It's not terrible, but as I mentioned earlier, getting the energy on is a little awkward because you're a colorless basic. Not that it's super easy anyways. Then Pikachu EX, this one can accelerate a bunch of base energy or do 200 for 3, kind of whatever. And then we have this Ditto. This card's also new. This card is this is really interesting, actually. Is it good? No, it's like super bad. But for 2 colors, on a coin flip, there is the new tool which is coming out in Pitch Black, which will let you reflip if you want. But if has you search for any Pokemon, switch it with this Pokemon, and then you like keep all the stuff attached. That's really bad, right? Like then you're just gonna be in the active. That's not good. It is any Pokemon, so it can get like stage 2s or something. I mean, surely this card's like completely terrible, right? Like if you could do it guaranteed and it was 1 energy, I think it might be okay. I think it would actually be good in that situation, though not like broken still, but it would be decent. It's not that. It's a really funny card. I'm trying to think of the best use case. Probably just get a stage 2. You'll have the energy on as well, so that's cool. And yeah, I mean, like this card doesn't have any synergy with anything. If this card has synergy with something, it could be cool. Actually, I guess a cool thing you could do with this, technically, is you could copy this with a new Mew EX, and you can accelerate energies to the Mew EX using, like, Wondrous Patch or something. You could crisp into this as well. So this card's definitely cool. I mean, if it didn't have the coin flip, I'd like it so much more. I really don't like coin flips of the Pokemon TCG, but definitely a somewhat interesting card. Then we they're pretty bad. And then we have this Mewtwo, which can accelerate to it and like do some damage. I guess it's a reference to the old Mewtwo, maybe. And then this Mew does 10, 4 more for each energy attached to your opponent's active. It's unfortunately just not very good here, I don't think. And yeah, that's what we got. Ultimately, these cards aren't super good, but they are cards. And that's about all I can say. But, you know, maybe I missed something. And as I said, there are some hidden gems here. Looking at just a few of the cards, there's something with them. And I'm excited for every new set, as always. But I hope you are too. Make sure you like and subscribe. It really does help support me in the channel. Also, huge shouts to my YouTube members for supporting me. That really does mean a ton. But I hope you all enjoyed. And as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video.